Isobel struggled to suppress a grin. Both Lady Edwina and Miss Hopkins were all but jigging with impatience, not to meet Royd, but to be introduced to her. Declan turned to her. "Isobel." She smiled and held out a hand. "Declan, it's good to see you again." He bowed over her fingers, then turned to his wife. "My dear, this is Isobel Carmichael, of the Carmichael shipyards in Aberdeen. Isobel, my wife, Lady Edwina." Lady Edwina's cornflower blue eyes widened fractionally as she made the connection. She would have heard of the shipyards when she'd visited Aberdeen. She beamed and held out her hand. "Miss Carmichael, welcome to London and to our home." Isobel clasped Edwina's fingers and returned her smile. "Lady Edwina, it's a pleasure to meet you. And please, call me Isobel. I understand we're throwing ourselves on your hospitality, at least until Royd learns what Caleb has found and receives his orders." Declan blinked. Then he turned to Royd and Robert, who were exchanging news. Edwina brightened even more. Rather than release Isobel, she tugged her forward. "Do come in. You must meet Eileen." She glanced frowningly at the trio of males, but they'd moved sufficiently to allow Isobel to slip past. She stepped into an elegant front hall. The brassy-haired lady had fallen back and stood waiting to offer her hand. "I'm Eileen Hopkins. I met Robert in Freetown, and I returned to London with him on the Trident." Isobel clasped Eileen's fingers. "I'm delighted to meet you, Miss Hopkins." "Eileen, please. It seems we all have an interest in what's been happening in Freetown." The statement was a poorly disguised question, a transparent invitation to share. Apparently, neither Edwina nor Eileen was at all slow in observing and deducing. Isobel sobered. "Indeed. I'll be travelling there with Royd in pursuit of one of my cousins. I understand both of you have been in the settlement, so I'm particularly keen to speak with you." She glanced from Eileen's hazel eyes to Edwina's encouraging blue gaze. "I need to learn everything you can tell me about a Miss Catherine Fortescue." "Miss Fortescue?" Edwina's expression grew concerned. She put a hand on Isobel's arm. "I greatly fear, Isobel, that Miss Fortescue has been captured by slavers, possibly taken to work in a mine." She compressed her lips and nodded. "Royd and I agree that her disappearance is very likely linked to his mission." Edwina and Eileen swung their gazes to the men, still standing on the porch. Isobel looked too. The three brothers were holding various papers and notes, shuffling, reading, and exclaiming. "You've arrived at the perfect moment," Edwina said. "Hornby, one of Caleb's men, arrived not 5 minutes ago with that satchel Robert's holding. It's full of reports and maps." Edwina met Isobel's gaze. "It seems Caleb has found the mine and has remained to keep watch over the captives. He might have sent a list of said captives." Eileen narrowed her eyes on the three men. "But we haven't had a chance to see." Edwina exchanged a steely glance with Eileen, then looked at Isobel. "Do you need to go up and refresh yourself and rest, or—" She gestured toward the men. Isobel met Edwina's eyes. "I'm not the wilting sort. Let's get those papers and see what Caleb sent." Edwina nodded once. Her chin firming, she bustled forward. Eileen followed in support. Isobel nodded to the butler, who was supervising the footman as they ferried her and Royd's luggage inside. She removed her hat, laid it on a side table, and pulled off her gloves. By the grace of God, she'd fallen in with like-minded women. Edwina might be a slip of a thing, a petite, delicate-looking, golden-haired damsel with bright blue eyes, but she possessed a great deal of energy and, for Isobel's money, a spine of steel. Like recognized like, and Eileen Hopkins seemed of similar disposition.